So I finally washed this truck, and man, it does look good. She does look good, all cleaned up and actually shiny for once. I haven't washed in a while. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Make Money Trucking. And this is my 2011 Freightliner Coronado. And basically we're going to be replacing the oil spinner separator or the crankcase breather. I'll show you guys real fast. All right, so we're underneath the hood here, and right there is the crankcase breather, and we're finally going to be replacing this guy. As you can see, there's a bunch of oil and stuff, and grime and dirt and sludge. And previous videos I had mentioned how I thought that was the oil pan gasket, which, not blame anybody, but it would have been nice for them to say, oh yeah, I think that's your crankcase breather, which later on I figured out it was. But boy, there has been a long development on this issue, and I knew this thing was bad months and months ago, but I've been through quite the journey to get to source one of these. All right, so even though these two crankcase breathers might look very similar, they're actually not the same. They have similarities, but then they also are very different. So even though they look similar, this is the one that you need for my truck, which is a 2011 DD15. But Freightliner will sell you this one and tell you that you don't know what you're talking about, and it should fit and it will work. But in the later years of the DD15, this is actually the newer style, and I think it's about 2000, either late 2012 or even 2013 or newer. They started making this style. This top piece is very different than mine. So on mine, there's actually a metal pipe that goes into the top, and then this piece here sandwiches down around it. Whereas the new ones, you can actually, this pipe is meant to be removed, but mine, I'll show you over here real fast. See, on mine, it's got this metal pipe is not meant to be taken off. It's meant to stay with the truck, because you cannot get the plastic pipe that's on the newer models that replaces this pipe here. It does not interchange. So that is what I fought with for probably the better part of a couple weeks, if not a month. And now I got to fight these guys because they already didn't want to take this one back. And I went ahead and bought it again just to make sure after I got this one. And this one I found on eBay. I might link it in the description below. Also, the part numbers are different too. So yeah, this is the one that we need, and thankfully I found one on eBay, and it wasn't too hard to get a hold of. So yeah, we're gonna be replacing this guy today, and then taking this one back, and hopefully they don't fight me on it because it's been a couple months. And then we also have a gasket to replace. We're gonna replace the gasket when we put this guy on, since on mine right now, oil is spitting out of the vent down here, and to the best of my knowledge and what everybody's told me is that means it's bad, that it's no longer separating it's no longer feeding the oil back into the bottom of the oil pan. It's just puking it out because the spinner is not working properly. All right, so first thing we need to do is undo this sensor. And then these are T-Torques. I don't remember exactly the size, but there's two of them that we'll have to undo to remove this top pipe. And then there's bolts underneath that we'll get to. All right, now that the sensor or the plug is removed, there's actually three of these. One, or actually just two, yeah. This one here and the one on the other side. All right, so we got they're T25, by the way. So this bracket comes out with the sensor on it, and we might retain this bracket or use the new one. Put that aside, and this tube just lifts up like so and pops out of place, and then we'll work on the bolts underneath. All right, so we're underneath the crankcase breather, and as you can see how dirty and oily it is coming out of that vent right there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna unbolt the this wiring harness here, these main power wires, so that when we unbolt the oil separator or crankcase breather itself, it'll drop right out. But we'll have to undo this clamp or this bracket here to move these lines, give them a little more room to move out of the way. All right, so if we move these lines out of the way, there are 4 bolts holding this guy, one up there, one down there, and then 2 on the other side. And we'll unbolt those, and then we should be able to finagle this thing out, down and out, and then put the new one in. All right, so we got all but 1 bolt left, and this thing's dripping a little bit of oil. When I took it off before, I swear it wasn't dripping any oil, but I guess sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, so we got this last bolt undone, and then we'll try to wiggle this thing out of here. And there we go. There she comes. All right, so we got her out, and there's gonna be a gasket. So now what we'll do is we'll get this gasket off and replace it, and then clean up this area a little bit. There's a gasket. Pull that off. We'll put the new gasket on, and then we'll bolt it back up, and we'll clean this area real good. All right, so we got the new one here, and then we got this gasket. What's real nice about this gasket is that it's got these little indentions on it, so that we can actually sneak the bolts in like so, and kind of hold them in place. All right, so we got all those, and then we'll try to wiggle this thing up in there. It might be kind of hard with these bolts actually in place. Might be easier to do it without it, but yeah, we'll give it a try. I made a mistake of leaving that pipe on the top that we talked about, on top of the separator, the pipe that goes right there. I left the stock one on there, so I should have took that off, because I made it a little hard to hold in place and then put the bolts in. But yeah, so all we gotta do now is tighten these 4 bolts and then go on top, and we should be good to go. All right, the crankcase breather is fully in from down here, and hopefully this is the last time we see it, an oily mess down here. Hopefully we can fix the problem, but let's go up top and button that up. Oh, I got all these back connected, just so you know. And yeah, let's go back up top. All right, so we're back up top. So this is that hose I was telling you guys about that I stupidly left on. So we need to take that off, T25 on both sides, and I'll show you how this pipe goes on. So here are the brackets, and as you see, these brackets are matching. They're exactly the same, except for this one doesn't have a sensor on it, and this one has a sensor. And on the one that Freightliner tries to give you, this bracket is a little bit different, and it won't allow this piece. So basically how this goes is you put this pipe back into place like so, So the pipe goes back like that, and it's kind of hard metal, so you kind of got to squish it a little bit. And the bracket fits over it and basically sandwiches that pipe down. And on the new style that Freightliner tries to give you, this bracket doesn't work, and it has no way to sandwich onto the top of the crankcase breather. Alright, so there you have it. There is a completed crankcase breather or crankcase ventilator, and that's what it's supposed to look like. And we'll start the truck up and make sure everything's good, and hopefully we don't have that oily mess down below. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully this was helpful. Let me know down below in the comments. And this is very special, important video if you have a 2011 or similar DD15, because you gotta buy this part aftermarket or online on eBay. Freightliner dealerships will not sell you this part. They'll sell you the wrong one and tell you you're crazy. But I'll link a part number down below in the description. And yeah, hopefully this helps, and I'll see you on the next one.